You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Cheers to a very exciting podcast, but
Salud.
still drinking non-alcohol.
Yes.
We've only got 5 days to go.
4 days.
Four
days if you don't count today. Today's almost over.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Friday is like, that's only a few hours away. So.
Isn't that sad that you're looking forward to that?
No, I'm gonna try to actually fall asleep early that night so I don't get tempted.
Yes, it's like Christmas for old people.
Yeah.
Right?
We did it though,
We
which is
did
kind
it.
of fun.
I'm
that's
impressed.
Kind of good. Eh?
I'm impressed with us. Like
Yes.
this is pretty
Yay
good. Yay
us.
us.
Well,
we deserve a cookie.
The big thing on that is just because it's like you want to make sure you've got control over this kind of shit.
This
right?
is exactly it.
Yeah.
And plus it's saying you can do this,
Yes.
right? It's like I'm not dependent on alcohol.
No, exactly.
I still think I'm an alcoholic.
I am still the master of my domain.
That's right.
Because the reality is,
Side
last year
note.
I only made it till like January 20th.
20th.
I sucked.
Dude, that's still pretty good.
And that's why this year I made it hard. I
Yeah.
left the alcohol in my office in eyesight, and I was torturing myself to remind me that I sucked last year. And now it's going to be harder for you this year.
That is a stone cold baller move, man. That is awesome.
pretty ballsy.
I can't even believe that. I had to drink all, most of the
You drank
stuff. I
everything
drank most of the stuff.
Explains your blackouts, but
I had a really good Christmas break.
yeah, right. Well, hello and almost goodbye, dry January.
Yeah. Woohoo!
All right.
Oh, man.
So, Sean,
Yes.
guess what?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but we
No.
got our first bad review.
What?
We got a bad review. Got a bad review. Yes.
Oh.
And I kind of at first I saw it. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm reading, and the dude was he was really upset. He didn't slam the show.
Oh.
He didn't say anything about the show. Didn't say
Okay.
anything about us.
Good.
What else? How could he? How could he? But no. But he went on about. We talked a couple episodes back about Google going crazy on page load speeds, and that it's
right.
more about money. It's not about the user experience.
Yeah.
Because when you're like at that kind of page load speed, like they're talking about like milliseconds of. The user's never going to make a difference, right? And this guy went in there and he was really irate about it. It really bugged him. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. It all makes a difference. Like page upload speed makes a huge difference, even if it's just a half a millisecond. And he went on like this.
Wow.
And again, like we're not talking about waiting for minutes and minutes on end for a page.
Fair.
We were talking
Yeah.
0.8
Yeah.
seconds versus because Google's new, their new algorithm is all about improving the user experience,
Yes.
which is a bunch of bullshit. It's just so they can crawl more sites if they all load faster. Is the real reality,
there you
right?
go. There
That's
you go.
the real
Oh,
reality.
I smell another bad review coming.
Yeah, right.
Same dude too.
So the reality though, he was really upset about it, and it sucks.
Yeah.
because he actually gave us a 1 star out of it.
Oh.
which totally sucks. But again, it wasn't about he didn't like the show.
Yes.
he didn't like our stance, our opinion on something. And in all fairness, I'm not changing mine.
No.
Jacob's law, right? People expect the same performance on your website as they expect on other websites.
Exactly.
And the whole world is not, finite enough or programming enough,
Yeah.
savvy to be able to get these sites at these insane speeds.
Exactly. And the human eye doesn't work that
Right.
fast.
And again, we're not
Like,
talking
come
about
on.
10-second load, versus 1 second.
Like in the old days.
We are
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
literally 1 second versus half of a
Tenths.
second.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
even anyway.
Yeah,
But it
really.
sucks because that's going to now change your score a little bit. So that sucks. So the only way to combat this is we need you guys. If you do love us, you want to help us out at all, get on Apple Podcasts, throw us a friendly, high five or whatever. Give us a comment or just throw us a 5-star or
Yeah, give
4-star or even a 3-star. Really.
3-star. Yeah.
Be honest about it. If
Totally.
you get something out of this, great. If you enjoy it, great.
Yeah.
If you think we're a bunch of doofuses, hey, whatever. I'm hoping
You're
though,
half
that-
right.
I'm hoping we can get that page score up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because, it's a little disappointing. Because again, it was disappointing that he wasn't saying anything about the show.
Yeah.
He was saying something about a viewpoint in the show.
Right.
Right. And so that's where I was just kind of like, my first reaction, of course, being a hot-blooded Italian, is to be like, what the fuck? What is that? Who is that? Let me hunt them down on the web. And then,
order a hit on his family. No, just kidding.
but I mean, in all fairness, I've learned to chill a lot more, right? I literally read into his message a little bit more and realized it wasn't anything about me. It wasn't anything personal. I didn't take it personal.
Yeah.
So I didn't get upset about it.
Yeah.
Right. And it was just like, all right, it's unfortunate. I'm reaching out to our peoples now to maybe help us out.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is this whole reacting thing is something that I've learned over the past 20, 22 years of doing this, 25 years if you include the other jobs, right?
Yeah.
So, which I think is a good segue into this show.
That's a brilliant segue.
Well, because this is about the shit that we've learned as a graphic designer over the years, right?
Yeah.
These are life lessons learned doing this for as many years. Now, our lessons, of course, are seasons. We've been doing this for 20 plus years.
Right.
People have got lessons at 5 years.
Yep.
People have got lessons at 10.
Yep.
I wish that when I was at my 2, 3, 4, 5 year mark, I wish there was people like us or like that's already on the web right now giving this free information. I must admit, the world is amazing right now because
it really is.
There's so much free shit. Back when I started, I was young.
What's a podcast?
Right? Well, yeah, right? But I mean, I used to pick up the phone and call my competitors and I'd be like, hey, I just started my agency. Can we have lunch? I'd love to hear how you did it. And I was naive.
Yeah, that's all. Did that work?
It worked on a few of them.
Really?
A lot of them didn't call me back. One stiffed me, that jerk.
Really?
Yeah, that
he left
jerk.
you hanging.
He totally left me hanging.
Oh, that's douchey.
But there was a couple that actually genuinely met. I wasn't sure if they met just to try to scope out their competition or if they were genuine.
Yeah.
But that was the only way to learn shit back then, right?
That's
And
true.
trial and error. Where now it's like you've got we're tell-alls. I'm saying what was hard, what was easy, as I'm sure you have on this list.
Oh yeah.
So it is good. I think this is amazing, no matter what year people are in this space.
No, this is awesome because you're absolutely right. Coming up, it was peers or people that you looked up to that you worked with that were awesome. They kind of helped you through this kind of thing. So you couldn't actively seek out stuff. Yeah. This kind of information.
Exactly. So, different kind of world. So it's a good world in that sense. So
I wonder if it's better to learn these things as you go or
sometimes, because at the same time, I think early on in our career, a lot of us are so naive to think that we have all the answers. And it's like, what do you know?
It's like,
right?
Whatever. Yeah.
But let me tell you, if I knew a fraction of the shit that I knew now, I would, granted, you may have to learn it still for yourself.
Yes.
But, the learning curve might be a hell of a lot quicker, right? It might only take 1 or 2 blown jobs and somebody saying, hey, you take those kind of people, you're going to blow that work. Yeah. You all of a sudden start, putting things together a lot quicker.
Yes, exactly.
So that's so literally we're continually learning.
Yes,
right. And
always,
even
constantly.
Technically before this, we had some challenges. We're like, where did this come from? But the reality is, this is a lifelong process.
Yes.
We've learned some awesome things throughout the years, and so I think what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the shit that we've learned. Yeah. And I would love it if you guys fed back on some of the things that you've learned, whether you've been doing this for only a couple of years or you've been up at it like us. And I mean, I know some of the people that are on our Instagram. I mean, they just focus in on print. I hear about the print.
Yeah.
Others on screen printing. I hear about them. So this is interesting to hear life lessons. That how many of our lessons actually together are kind of the same unified lesson, and how many are still that
are very focused on certain aspects of the industry. Yeah, that's really cool.
I think so. Anyway, so that's. I hope everybody's going to enjoy this list.
Yes.
These are lists that we felt we put together. We did find some. We found a blog post actually that had a list.
Yep.
And at first it was like, all right.
Yeah.
But we could do this better. And we dug a little deeper and we started pulling out some of our own experiences. And and again, not a particular order, right?
No. And we had like a shit ton of them that we spread out over the team just to kind of
curious to see.
To see what was going on. So it was kind of like what started as one little nugget turned into a
right, because then it was like, oh yeah, you're right, that's a good one. And I definitely that. So interestingly enough, these are our the biggest lessons we've learned as graphic designers here at this agency.
Woohoo!
All right, shall we start, my friend?
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
All right, number one.
Yes.
Oh, and again, no particular order.
That's right.
All right.
So this is, instead of number one, this is first.
That's right.
This is the first in the long list.
In a long list, all right? So, first lesson learned. They can't all be gems. Right? And
it's right out of the gate.
Right? Like, this is a big one that I think everybody gets, but the ones that are early on in the career often get frustrated with, where us people who've been doing this a little longer realize this. Like, the reality is there's bills to be paid. And a big part of our job, unless you plan on just working on a single project at a time, you don't want repeat customers. Customers have different degrees of requests. Some of them are big. Some of them feel like bitch work.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But the thing is, they rely on us, our abilities to actually get this shit done.
That's exactly
right. So who are we to complain about this, right?
Yes.
So this is actually kind of an interesting one, right? Because we've hired a lot of new people here. And they get frustrated because after they're just out of high school. They're out of design school.
Design school,
And they get we're testing them everywhere, and they get frustrated because they're not getting these huge glamorous projects. And it's like, dude, you don't have the understanding to even take on something like this.
Exactly.
But the funny thing is, we still sprinkle them with those opportunities
once in a while. You gotta, you have to have those encouraging moments.
Exactly.
As a junior designer, and that's but you cut your teeth on the little things
because you need to, right? You need to see where
Yes.
they excel, where they're struggling, right? How their mind works, right? But no, they want to come in and just right away be expected to get top tier shit. And unfortunately, the world doesn't always work like that. So that's first off in the agency world.
You've hired a lot of people.
Yes.
Is that a red flag for you when somebody 100%. Comes in? Yes. Okay.
Oh,
so
dude,
that's
on so many levels because the expectations aren't realistic. Then,
yes. Because then if they say, "Look, I want bigger shit. I don't want to be bothered with this little rinky dink crap," then know I got a problem here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously, because number one, they don't have the experience, the maturity, the design experience to handle bigger projects. It's not to say that their creativity isn't going to be great. That's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. And a lot of times it was, and sometimes it would be like, wow, good idea, but these ones aren't great. But you have a problem when all of a sudden they're like, well, I think these ones are great though, even though you don't. Just like, dude, relax. Okay. But the truth is, this business is based on, I'd like to say, maybe 60, 70% of our stuff is stuff to pay the bills. Right? Maybe you want to call it, that's what our retainer stuff is. It's just the stuff on the ongoing basis to actually just pays our bills, gets us through. Right? And that is the PowerPoints of the world. That is the whole, social posts and everything. But again, you still can find gems.
This is true.
There,
like it's all how your perspective and how you look at it, right? Like if you find something, if you're doing something that's a little mundane or run of the mill, like a social post or something like that. You can find creative ways to work in these really restrictive environments.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You still can push yourself.
You still can. You can.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
Don't sit there and be like, oh my God, they're giving me bitch work. I hate and grumble.
Exactly.
That's not the attitude. Dude, like 2 weeks ago, you did that Photoshop Photoshop layered file. So Sean came up with this brilliant concept, put together an awesome mood board. The client, of course, pinpointed on this one tiny concept, but wanted some of these changes. And that image didn't exist. A
Getty image.
Right? And it was a Getty image, but it's like kind of silly to buy $1,000 Getty image and like literally have to convert 2/3 of it. So you literally created it from scratch. Fucking rock star.
It was awesome.
I was jealous.
I know.
So some people would sit there and be like, oh man, this is such bullshit work. Dude, it was so damn cool. You built this from scratch. I was jealous. I was secretly like,
I know, because those are the golden ones.
Those are like,
they're very rare. They don't come along very often.
Those are like the little diamonds that you find within like these projects that people keep thinking are crap, right?
Exactly.
And I was jealous, pure jealous. We're good, right? And literally that ended up being the staple image in the entire campaign.
This whole campaign.
So
and that was fun. Those are the awesome ones. They're a lot of work, but it's kind of like it's a lot of brain power involved in it, because you got your copying, or not copying, but your basis for the image that you're working off of. But I mean, that's very rare. They don't come along a whole lot, but you still got to look you got to look for the good things in those PowerPoint
even
images and stuff like that.
Like think about the PowerPoint, right? Yeah. You've elevated PowerPoints out of this company hands down.
Yes.
Right? PowerPoints used to be boring. And like seriously, you cranked that up. And again, you could think of them, somebody could just like grumble through it. And we had some people grumble through it.
And so some people who refuse to work with those.
Refuse to do that.
It's like, I didn't go to school to learn PowerPoint. Like, well,
needless to say, I refuse to pay those people, and they weren't here for very long.
Exactly.
But I mean, the truth is, they can't all be gems.
Yes.
But a lot of this is just a matter of opinion, attitude. Figuring out what the real reason is, right? And if you're going to be a bigger part of a team, or if you need, a long-term career here, and you're freelancing, you got to accept the fact that they're not all going to be award-winning projects.
Yes.
Or portfolio pieces or whatever. Because unfortunately, clients need all of you, not just the best of you.
And the best part of that too is all those little jobs that you think are beneath you or stuff like that prepare you for those big ones when you get to it, right? You're almost like, oh, okay, now I've honed my craft with this program with the Photoshop. I know it inside and out. Now I'm ready for my for my close up.
Exactly right. So don't just focus on the job, focus on the outcome of it, like the bigger picture, right?
The bigger picture.
All right, that's good. That's good. All right.
Yes.
All right. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
All right.
I like that one.
I'll tee up the next one. What's the next one, Mr. Sean?
Okay. So this one is a good one too. Don't take yourself too seriously. Have some fun with it.
Have some fun with the whole fucking thing, right? Like, seriously.
Right?
Like, I find it hilarious. Okay. Early on when I started, I was always trying to be somebody I wasn't.
Yes.
I was trying to be serious. I was trying to be taken seriously.
Did you wear a suit?
And I hated that I did.
That would be so funny.
Right?
You had a tie.
Dude, I looked like a zoot suit. I literally looked like a little mobster, right? But the reality is I was trying to take myself too seriously.
Yeah.
I was trying to be this elevate like this whole persona that I just wasn't, and everything suffered. Yeah. I was miserable. The clients I was working with made me miss everything about it because I was just taking it. I was taking myself too seriously. I was taking the industry too seriously. And I mean, this is a creative industry.
Yeah.
I love seeing quirky creative people,
Yes.
but it breaks my heart to see these quirky creative people put on, a different persona to try to do business.
Exactly.
And that's what sucks.
Yeah.
Right? I think people, oh man, don't even get me started on this one. This one actually bothers me a lot.
I know. It's that, and that's the beauty of this. It's like you can't be something you're not. Like, and once you pivoted, once you turned that point where you're just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to be myself.
Yep.
Then you become genuine.
Absolutely,
you do. And that people feed off of that, and totally. That's a way better approach to do.
Absolutely. I mean, you're happier with what you do. Your work shows, right? Your relationship show.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, again, halfway through this whole career, I almost had a breakdown. I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, wow.
I literally burned my suit, right? And, we moved into the garage. We got all, we changed our whole persona.
Yeah.
And I just started being who the hell we were, right? And to the point where it's like, I had a new client meeting, potential new client meeting like 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And dude, I was so blunt and forward with him. I was like, you know what? This is us. I had a baseball cap. I was wearing a hoodie that day. Our work spoke for ourselves. The clients we work with, spoke. Like, it's not like, we're just kind of kids at this, right?
Exactly.
But it's like, dude, this is who we are. And we need to have fun. Dude, when we moved to this location, so we used to be in the cool garage.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was literally cool garage.
Place. Yep.
It was awesome. I love this place.
The big doors.
Big garage door that we would open up,
great.
right? That was a really cool space. And then we needed to class up. I felt we needed to class up. I had some influence at the time. Like, no, you got to clean up your act and you'll get bigger jobs, right? So that's when we purchased this place, right? Yeah. And we literally built it from the ground up. And it looked like an art gallery, right? Think about it, like the walls, the colors, everything was like white and space. And we were like trying to be this company where we got all this, really conservative, boring shit on the walls, that some people would call art. And it was just driving me nuts, right? There's something about here when I was coming every day was just like, well, this isn't me. This isn't me. This is me. Then I had a meeting with some clients that they came to our old location.
Right.
Okay. And
So
it
they
was
were familiar with the garage.
Yeah, they were familiar with it, and it was a customer, one of our customers at the time, and it was a co-op student who was at the old location.
Okay.
And I guess she was finishing off her term. She came to the new location, and they were like, "Wow, yeah, the place is really beautiful. Yeah, good for you. Congratulations."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." Right. And then the girl's like, "Honestly, I think I like your old space better." And I was like, "Fuck, I just dropped a bundle on this. And why?" And I'm like, I was shocked, right? And good for her. And I commend this girl for saying this. And she's like, yeah, she's like, nope, nothing personal. She's like, it's a beautiful place. I love everything about it. She's like, but the other place had personality.
Yes.
She's like, this place is beautiful, but it looks like it could be anybody. And I was just like, it really, really struck a chord, right?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to be all serious about it.
Yeah, you were, yeah.
Dude,
And
I
fair
was
enough.
so upset.
Yeah.
Honestly, literally, it probably was that night. I was like, screw this. I went on Kijiji. I found this giant swordfish that I traveled 2 hours to go buy it, brought it back, spray bombed the whole thing white. Over the weekend, I hung it up. I took down that big ass boring painting that was in the boardroom. And I put up a giant white swordfish. And that was it. All of a sudden, it was just like, that's what we need. And one at a time, I started burning all the old crap.
Oh.
And I mean, now we got skateboards on the walls. We got giant comics at the back. We got superheroes everywhere. We've got Funkos. I mean, again, shit.
Cool little drawings done back there.
Right?
Yeah.
We've got an electric scooter in the front.
We got
right?
a scooter now, yeah.
Badass scooter. But the reality is, and now it's like people come in, they get the vibe, they get the place, and they get the people. Yeah. And we're not going to be for everybody. Yeah. But you know what? I don't want to take myself so damn serious and get those customers that it's just horrible to work with.
Yeah, and I think we're in a great space that we can get away with this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
It's not like we're doing accounting and shit like that.
Yes.
No slag to the accountants.
Yeah,
You're all very important.
But maybe that might be a little different. You may not want to look so creative. Unless you're looking to hide money. But but it's true, right? Like certain professions, are expected to be a little different. But we're in the creative world, right? Like we are designers.
We can get away with this kind of
we
stuff.
should embrace this. And just, I mean, again, so many of the people that we follow are covered in tats. They're still wearing baseball hats.
Yeah.
They're just, they look like animals. Yeah. And that's great. I love it, right?
Exactly,
like this is the only industry that you're expected to look like a rock star.
Yeah, totally.
Not like a doctor or a suit-mongering fool.
Yeah.
Right? This is not Wall Street. And
no
God
ties.
Knows. Yeah.
Like, oh, jeez.
Dude, honestly, taking yourself too seriously is the people who do, the designers who do, are in it for themselves.
Yeah.
And they're trying to build up their own ego, but I guarantee you, they're the ones that have the shortest careers.
Yeah, that's
they're burning out within 3 to 5 years. And seriously, like, who wants to work with somebody who's too, like, not just as a customer, but imagine an employee.
Yeah.
Like you can't work for people like that.
No, that would suck.
Right?
That would suck. It's like that abstract show that you were telling me about with Tinker Hatfield.
Right.
His office, like his space.
Dude.
Like that guy looked like a big kid.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean? He's got his longboard and he's scooting around, and it's just like that's genuine. Like that guy is real. But he's also not taking himself seriously. He's having fun,
right? He knows he's good at what he does.
He's good at what he does.
But he's not like, I'm a world famous shoe designer.
Exactly.
Listen to me. Like, no. Like, he was just like the dude was wearing a cool derby hat.
Yeah,
on
totally.
His dude.
Yeah. He's got the office, with all the instruments and that fucking that campers.
Seriously,
thing.
Though,
Like,
right?
that's killed.
Absolutely.
That guy is awesome, and he does not take himself serious.
Honestly, there's no secret that happy people are more productive.
That's true.
They're happier.
Yeah.
They're healthier. And honestly, they find more genuine enjoyment in life, not just in what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't take yourself too seriously.
No.
And again, your unique personality might not be for every customer.
Yeah.
But it's a big world, and there's a lot of customers that'll take you just the way you are.
Yeah.
So if you are, conservative by nature, do it.
Yeah.
Own it. There's customers that want that.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're got a personality, if you're quirky, embrace it. Love it. Like, be who you are. This is the industry that we need to do.
Totally.
And you will get the customer. You will just naturally attract the customers that gravitate to your kind of personality.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah. They expect us to be a little weird. Anyway.
I think so. Who wants to be normal? That's just
normal.
boring.
Normal's lame.
Lame-o.
Lame-o. So lame.
All right. This is a big one.
Okay.
So this one is, and this one I think everybody struggles with, and even me up until recently struggling with this one. So stop comparing yourself to others. There's always going to be somebody who's better, and that's okay.
Yes.
That's the key there.
Yes, that's
it's
okay.
Okay.
That's right.
Right. So many times people are so okay. So let's not even start talking about imposter syndrome yet.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get into that.
Get there.
But
yeah.
honestly, like trying to compare yourself to other people totally sucks the fun out of your experience.
Yes.
You know, you may have had a big score that day and $1,000 logo, right? And that's huge for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna just feel like shit if all of a sudden you're like, oh, that guy in there charges $10,000. Boy, does that suck. Don't worry about that shit because it just sucks the enjoyment out of your experience.
Exactly.
Right? Like the only person that you should be comparing yourself to is yourself yesterday.
Yes.
That's it. Right? That's it.
That's heavy.
Literally, just yeah. If you can, take a picture, snapshot of what you were yesterday, and if you're a little better today than yesterday,
then you've won.
Then you succeeded.
Exactly.
But even recently, I focused a lot on the business, and I didn't get out into the social game. I didn't get out into massive YouTube game. And I see some of the people out there that are doing it, and I'm like, I'm better than these guys. And it would drive me nuts, right? But it's like, and it was irking me for a long, long time. I was like, I can do that. I can. The difference is I didn't.
Yes.
Right? They did.
They did that.
And it was pissing me off. So although I was comparing the end result of what they were doing, what I wasn't comparing is the effort it took there.
Right.
Instead, I spent the effort here building this place, which we've done really well. We've had a huge pivot a few years ago into tech, and that has worked really well for us, right? This was my energy, right? It wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I had to overcome that. I had to realize that it wasn't that I thought they were better than me, but there was some jealousy there that I had to learn how to come to terms with.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, just like, dude, like them or not, they did it. They worked their asses off for it. Good for them. And to the point where I talked to one, I met one of them, and I even said that. I said, I've had a love and hate relationship with you for years, right? And he like laughed. He was like, holy shit. Like, you're actually saying you hated me? And I was just like,
balls.
But I was like, it was pure jealousy for a little while because I was like, I can do this.
that. Yeah.
I remember you starting. I remember like, I could do this.
Yeah.
And but I didn't.
Yes.
And I mean, again, that was my fuck up. That was on me, right?
Well, it's different prioritizing, right?
Absolutely,
right? And
but
nothing wrong with that.
It was hurting me to try to compare myself.
Yes,
that's
the problem.
The thing, right? It was kind of playing with the imposter syndrome a little bit. I was doubting my skills. I was doubting our experience. I had a different focus altogether at the end, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, that was how I came to terms with it, and I realized it, and and that's totally cool, right? And they deserve every single little bit of fame that they've gotten from it, right?
They've worked very hard for it.
They have. They absolutely.
It was just their priorities were a little different from
absolutely. And I still watch them. I still listen to them, and I'm still like, great point. Great point.
Yeah.
Right. But honestly, it's a fun sucker trying to like watch other people and compare yourself to them.
Yeah.
It's just not cool.
It's the thief of joy.
It really is the thief of joy. It's so true though, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're not, and if you're focusing too much on what that other person is doing, you're not paying attention to your own backyard. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, it's so true.
And
it's
that's
so true.
Yeah. And then, so something is slipping by you not focusing on what you're doing.
Absolutely, right?
So yeah.
And it's tricky. It's tricky because you have to remember that you're awesome. We're awesome. We're awesome the way we are. You are special.
You're awesome too.
You're awesome. We love you. But no, the reality is, it's like, again, you're only doing yourself a disservice if you're trying to compete against people because you don't know that backstory.
That's right. There's a lot of history with that
There is
person.
a lot of history. We're not talking about, the exact same experiences, the exact same outcomes. That's not the case.
Yes.
Right? Learn from these other people, right? But again, they are who they are because of their entire life worth of experiences, everything that they've done, right?
Yes.
And that's who you are. So use that as motivation, right? Look at these people, get inspired by them, but stop comparing yourself to them in the negative way. You can aspire, right? To be like them. And like we have with many of the greats out there, we've aspired.
Yeah.
But, you know, like at the same time, you're not doing yourself any favors comparing yourself to them.
Exactly.
Right? Not in a negative way. Anyway.
No.
Yeah.
As soon as we learned we're not going to be Massimo Vignelli,
right?
think of the burden that was.
Right? Thank God, right?
Phew, I can't compare myself to that dude.
It's so true, you know.
But I can be inspired by his work.
Absolutely.
Which is probably the way to look at it, rather than trying to live his life and do his thing. That's never going to work. Never going to work.
Cool.
Don't do it.
So that was a big one. And that's one that, again, you know, even up until recently, I can honestly say that, you know, I've struggled a little bit with. I think we always struggle with a little bit.
Everybody
and that
has.
does lead to imposter syndrome. It will make you second doubt yourself. But the thing is, again, try harder than ever just to compare yourself to you yesterday.
Yes.
That's it.
really good.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is just inspiration.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you're on a path that is uniquely yours.
Absolutely.
So
right?
enjoy it.
Embrace it.
Yeah, embrace it. Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
Cool.
Ooh, that was a heavy one.
Yeah, that was a little heavy. I'm sorry.
You know, that's really good.
Touchy-feely there.
That's really good.
Do you want to touch me? Do you want to touch me? I was just touching myself. Oh, that sounds wrong, actually. That sounds bad. Sorry, guys.
He's not lying.
Sorry.
He's not lying.
Oh,
Stranger
damn.
danger. Oh, no, wait. No, I know you.
Oh, God. Okay, moving on. Moving on.
The next one.
Oh, yeah, the next one.
This is a good one, too.
Yeah.
Build bridges. Don't burn them.
Ooh, totally right. Yeah, that one's a hard one.
Right?
There's a lot of people who like literally they leave a mess everywhere they go. And they don't realize how small this industry is.
Exactly.
Right? And how fast that they can burn out.
Yes.
Not by choice.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, the ass you kick today is the ass you may have to kiss tomorrow. Whether it's, you know, a customer, whether it's a boss, one way or another, man, that shit follows you. And we're not just talking about, you know, the secrets or the powers of the universe here. We're just like, our space is small. The industry is small.
Yep.
And especially if you niche out like we have,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you ever get like other agencies asking about prospective employees?
It has happened.
It has happened.
It has happened.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And I felt really bad sometimes. I've always, so again, it's two tiers, right? I'm a nice guy. I'm even if an employee drives me nuts, right? I'm not going to go badmouth them.
Oh,
however,
nice.
If another agency calls and if it's the respectful somebody higher up, HR maybe, or head of HR, or the owner, which has happened twice already.
Wow, really?
The owners of it, and they're like, hey, you know what? So then we have, you know, like just simple chat for the first 5-10 minutes just to be like, yeah, we're in the same field, whatever, you know, it's good. Then they're like, so I'm looking at hiring this person. So now I have an obligation to somebody who's has basically set the whole boundaries. That I'm in the same boat as you are.
Yeah.
We got the same struggles.
Yeah.
You know, how did you find this employee? Because now I need him to help me with my struggles, right?
Yeah.
And I had to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. And this happened twice. And I was just like, listen, very good at this.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Not so
this
strong in
is
this
why they're
department.
not here anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and again, they're like, oh, well, I can change him. I can change him. Dude, you can't change him. And they didn't change him.
They didn't.
But, you know, I was just honest at that point, and I didn't say don't hire him. I was just like, this is what we experienced. So if you can do better, good, because there's a lot of talent there that could be honed, but sometimes people are their worst enemy in this case, right?
This is true. This is true.
And this goes back to that whole, you know, like you're not by yourself in this space,
No,
right?
not at
like
all.
this isn't just about you. This isn't the me game. It's the we game.
Yes, this
when
is
you're
the we game.
when you're when you're like in this kind of environment, you've got to help everybody. It's not just the superstar.
Yeah, totally.
And
exactly.
those are the people that do generally burn bridges.
Yeah, and that's a very dangerous thing to do, because you know, like if you're a freelancer and you're fucking up at all, you know, that word goes around. Exactly, like somebody's going to contact you, or they're going to check your references, and they're even going to call the places where you worked before. So, these are the kind of things where you gotta do the right thing.
You know,
as hard as it is,
it even goes past that. It even, you know, this one's happened to me as agency to client, if you can imagine, twice, 2 instances. Both I knew had bad outcomes. One customer, I knew we were never, ever going to get this customer again. And they were being you know, I made a promise, and, you know, we were just struggling to get there with them. And it was just like, you know what, even if I do this, you're not coming back anyway. So why am I bothering? But the right thing to do was to, you know, just bite your tongue and just finish it.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, even though they were dicks and I knew they weren't coming back, they can't come back and say
it was your
they didn't deliver. Well, they can't say we didn't deliver.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I remember when I did lose my cool and I regretted it. I lost it for a quick second. It was a project. It went bad. It was a website. We had bad communication with the customer. You know, the CMS that we chose, you know, wasn't our choice. We were working with it, but we agreed to use their content management system.
Oh, no.
Big mistake, right? But we promised we'd deliver. And it was nothing but problems. My frustration came.
Yep.
And in the end, I even said it to him. I said, you know what? I should just cancel this. Like, you know what? Like, I don't even think I want to finish this job. You know, just take it and go away. Right? And, and I stopped.
Wow.
And then they're like, really? Do you really want to do that? And they were willing to take it. And I was just like, oh, fuck. No. I was like, you know what?
Wow.
This was our mistake. We'll fix it. And it literally cost us like 40 grand to fix in the end, but it was the right thing to do. And that customer left, went to another job and called on us again. Because we did the right thing.
You did the right thing.
We didn't burn that bridge.
Didn't burn that
and
bridge.
in the end, he was like, I know you were frustrated. I know you lost money, you know, but you did what you were supposed to do.
Wow.
You made it right. And again, it's just, it cost a lot. And okay, granted, we never made that mistake after that.
Yes.
Now it's like, we won't work with, you know, like certain types of content management systems. We know the problem behind them.
Right.
We start developing our processes in place, right? And again, we just
adhering
won't.
to that.
No, we won't. We absolutely, I will sooner walk away from something, you know,
or
wipe our hands clean.
Yeah, exactly. Or
than burn that bridge.
This is the criteria that we want to work with.
Yeah.
You know that this is going to be trouble because of your lesson that you've learned.
Yep.
You're like, no, this is not worth the job. That's not worth the 40 grand left on the table.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a tough one though, because it's
a
so
great
easy
lesson.
to take that. So easy to take the coward way out.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. Good for you. So what do you think if you'd said, I'm done with this crap, that would have been a nasty burned bridge that could come back?
The bridge would have been burned for sure. It would have came back to me, right? And again, the space is small, but you know, at the same time, it carries on you.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I'm a big believer that you put out, you get back what you put out.
Back.
Right. And again, and I genuinely believe that the universe it's fun, it's crazy, it's kooky.
Yeah.
And whatever you put out does come back, sometimes 2-3-fold. Wow. And this is one of those things, I'm constantly testing this theory and it seems to work, right? The nicer you are, the nicer shit comes back.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that was, I think there's some pivotal times, you know, in your career that it's just like, wow, there's a decision that needs to be made here.
Yeah.
There is a right decision.
Yep.
And there's an unfortunate decision. And more often than not, it's just like, what are you going to do here? Right. Like I could have easily taken the unfortunate route and been like, screw you. I'm saving my ass.
Yeah.
That wasn't the right decision.
But that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm a big believer of I work hard to not burn bridges.
Yeah.
I will lose money before I will burn a bridge.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd rather always go. I want to make sure that when I am on my deathbed, you know, nobody can be like, that person fucked me over.
Yes, exactly. You don't want everybody saying, oh man, he's such a cheap bastard, or
he climbs over people and this.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So you want everybody to say that guy was fucking awesome and a total joy to work with.
And that's what I want. And that's how you want to be remembered.
That's how you want to be remembered.
I've had people constantly like stepping over us, you know, this, that, like using us as just like a small little, you know, step in their ladder, in their career ladder. And, you know, they're the ones who end up suffering in the end. Man, there was a dude who totally used and abused us. And it was like, he did it to us, but he did it to everybody else, to the point where he screwed over so many people in this town. He literally had nobody else. His reputation was so bad. He didn't leave the city. He left the fucking province. Okay, he literally did. He went 3 provinces away. I think the dude moved to you know, PI or Nova Scotia or something. But it was just like, you were the best salesperson first time around the block. Right? First time. By the time you came back, nobody wanted to know what the hell you were selling.
They got burned so bad.
Absolutely. And that's somebody who burned every single bridge they walked on. Right?
Shit. Now that's a guy on his deathbed. It's going to be like,
right? Yeah.
Yikes.
Right.
That's horrid.
Yeah.
Canada is a big place. Provinces are huge.
Yes, it is. Boy,
you gotta go 3 over? Holy fuck. You must have done some bad shit.
Oh, damn.
Wow. So yeah, there's a great lesson to learn. And that story about the 40 grand on the table, that is a brilliant, painful lesson.
Very painful.
But good for you for taking that high road.
Took the high road, and through that, honestly, it was like you take that bad experience and you turn it into good. We put in certain processes so it never happened again.
Yeah.
And literally, it never did happen again. Not even close.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Because you learned that.
You know, it probably, it hurt then, but it definitely didn't hurt, you know, years later.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt when they came back afterwards and they said, you did the right thing.
Yes.
And that's why I'm back. Because I know it's integrity. Right. Yeah. And again, that's the one thing that is 100% up to you is the integrity.
Yeah.
Right.
And they might have went to another agency that didn't have that kind of integrity and was like, you know what?
Exactly.
We did a bad thing to Z Factor. We should have.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of them mending that bridge.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, all right.
Right?
All right. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
That was
that's
good.
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
Awesome.
Whatever. All right. Again, I'm getting too touchy here again. Move on.
Dude, you're dropping bombs. Jeez. The universe you put out and get back. That's heavy.
It is heavy though. Crazy philosophy.
It's giving me goosebumps.
Well, don't get too many goosebumps, Sean, because on to my next one here.
Yes.
I don't need you to get precious, all right? Grow a thicker skin, but don't become a callous bad guy. Seriously.
Oh, that's great.
There is way too much precious personalities in this space.
God,
and this is not the space to have that,
No.
right? You can't be precious.
No, you cannot.
Nobody's going to sit there and be nice to you because you need to be sensitive. Nobody's, working to try to not hurt your feelings. This is kind of like a service industry where you got to perform.
It really is, yes.
Yeah.
And if you've got a major client and you're fucking it up and they're yelling at you and you're crying.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
That's not going to go
Or
over
even worse, crying is one thing.
Yeah.
I can't say I'd ever seen that before. However, I've had clients cry to us before, and that's kind of ridiculous. But not even that. It's like when you refute and you tell them they're wrong and and you start getting defensive, right?
Yeah.
Precious isn't just about being a baby. It's
That's
also
true.
about being a dick.
It's also about being a dick, yeah.
Criticism is part of this space.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally, criticism is totally, you need to have a thick skin.
You do.
But don't be bitter and assume that everybody's going to be an asshole,
Exactly.
right? And so it's like, it's a fine line, but it definitely starts by, don't be precious.
Yeah.
Right? And that goes right along with ego.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, because like if you take things far too personal, it's gonna eat away at you, and that's not good for your health.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you got to be tough in this space, but exactly like you said, you don't want to be somebody says something to you and you clap back at them like, "Oh, you're fucking wrong." You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, ultimately, this is still a service industry,
Yes.
and what we're creating isn't for us.
Yeah,
it's for the customer.
It's for the customer,
and it's for the customer's customer, and whatever, right? So it's not about us.
Yeah,
it's not for us.
Yeah.
So don't take it personally. Don't get precious. Don't get sensitive. Don't be a downer all the time. Every time somebody gives you some sort of criticism, you need to have thick skin because you are going to hear the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
Like customers that like literally the shit they say, just you scratch your head and you're like, are you serious? Did you really just ask me to make that 5% bigger or make that blacker?
Yeah, well,
like
it's not black enough.
Like seriously, you will hear shit that just if you let it get to you, you're gonna lose it.
You're gonna implode. Yeah,
you really will.
It's not good.
Oh man,
I always look at it too. It's like if somebody doesn't like something, and they tell me, and if you have a good ego integrity, you can listen to that because you get big ears. You listen to that kind of stuff, and you think, okay, that's fine. I wasn't understanding exactly what you were trying to say. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to take this back. And sometimes, oftentimes, the client is right in that. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
in those cases, you are, right?
Yeah.
Like people need to learn how to listen a little bit more often.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But yeah, it's like something like that. If I got all offended, or if I got precious and was mad and sulky, and that doesn't do anybody any good.
Absolutely. Well, and again, I think people take it too fucking personal.
They do.
Right?
They really do.
Again, this isn't the you show.
Yes.
Right? They're not hiring you because often maybe they like someone's style and they want that style for themselves. Fine, that's a little different story. But for the most part, what we're talking about here are people who get defensive about somebody doesn't like their logo work or this or that. And the reality is, it's like, you can't put your feelings in on that, right? You're going to create something that you love, you're passionate about, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to follow. They're going to want that. They have a different view, like you said. They have a different requirement, different need. Maybe you didn't understand that brief. You can't take that shit personally.
Exactly.
Right? They're not slamming you.
Yeah,
they're not even saying you suck as a designer. They're just saying, it's not right.
Yes.
And we need a pivot, a change. We need, like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of ridiculous when you hear things like, can you make it 5% bigger or this? And,
but you gotta look at that and say, okay, fair enough.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you know what this is? This is when it's like they sometimes try to flex their muscle.
Yes.
They're the customer. They're like, I am paying this bill. I need some, this is it.
I need change for the sake of change.
Like, honestly, and the reality, the easiest way to get around this is make the entire project a collaborative.
Yeah.
Right? You get, and I mean, we embrace collaborative all over this agency, right?
Time.
Our logo design process with our customers is a collaborative process. And then this way they get involved. You're great at every step. They're happy at every step. They're involved. They pay more for that shit, right? They do.
Yeah.
And often, more times than not, there is no frustration because there's no surprises, right? It's
because they're in on it all the way, every step of the way. Yeah,
because again, ultimately, the shit you create, you're handing over, right? It's not yours, it's theirs.
Yes.
So don't be precious about the feedback you get because it's theirs.
That's right.
Honestly.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And you want to do the best you can, and that means letting your ego go and doing that for the clients. Right?
Letting your ego go. Coincidentally enough, Sean.
Wait a second.
I think that might be the next one.
What a segue.
That was pretty good, actually. You didn't mean that, did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't have my glasses on. I couldn't see that. Check your ego at the door.
What?
Right?
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's a big lesson learned,
that is
actually.
a huge lesson.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that literally goes right in line with what we just talked about, right?
Totally. Yep.
It's not the you show.
Yep.
It's not about you. And your ego should have nothing to do with this, right? Again, we've all seen those superstar designers out there that are all about themselves. And, and again, maybe people hire them, almost more as they're hiring the name for just the, but they're not going back. These aren't the people that they basically have lifelong contracts with, right?
Yeah.
Like they literally use them. It's design prostitution. It's like honestly, it's like they're pimping their name out because they're just, they don't want my design, they just want my name. And if that's what they want, well,
then
if that's what the designer with the ego wants, so be it. But the reality is, I mean, again, the career span of these kind of designers is generally pretty short.
It's very, very, very.
They burn out,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Like a really high points and very low points.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't make that. Nobody wants to work with that kind of designer, right?
No. It's too much work, I think.
Oh, dude,
and
so much
that
work.
ego is just like, geez, because you have no say in it. That person is just going to do whatever the fuck they want to do, and you're going to gush over it because, because of that name.
Absolutely. But what sucks is working with that kind of person. The reality is that person is not going to do every aspect of a job.
No.
And that's what's hard. So if their ego is like, it's so much, nobody wants to work with them, but that person can't get all the shit done themselves. They're not in everything. They're not the ones that are coming up with the design, doing the CSS, doing the code and getting that out. They're not the ones that are doing the logo, plus doing the brand style guides, plus I mean, they have a team that works underneath them.
That, exactly.
And you know what? That team, they don't put up with that kind of shit, right? Because again, who's this about? The ego designer, or is it about, the bigger picture?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the greats, if you're really worth your salt as a designer, you are taking stuff from other people, like not taking it like ideas and suggestions and things like that. Like,
absolutely.
I can't imagine any of these
not
great
the you show.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I can't imagine any of these great designers living in or working in a vacuum where it's just their ideas. They have to have influence as well. They have to have people around them suggesting things, and you're like, fuck yeah, Gene, that's a great idea. Kind of thing, right?
So true, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Even the best of designers out there, like, the Paul Rands, the Vignellis, they may have led the design projects,
Yes.
but they had teams behind them doing the execution.
Exactly.
Right? And again, if they were total dicks, the teams wouldn't be sticking around. That's key.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Honestly.
You're right.
Oh, it's totally true.
That's
right?
so true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can learn a lot from someone like this. But the thing is, if it's just about you, if that's it, I mean, your team's going to bounce. That's it. They're going to just use you.
Yeah.
Again, it's like being a design prostitute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Use my name and then just move on. Use me and abuse me. Yeah. No, egos, honestly, this space is hard for the ego. Like, you know, you walk into a place and if you start pissing all over everybody and making the call for everything where you shouldn't be, from, you know, the pressman to the web designer to like everybody in between, nobody's going to want to work with you, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that just does not sit well with
I mean,
everybody.
again, I'm for the long-term game here.
Yes,
right? And
exactly.
again, we've been at this for a little over 20 years. Dude, I plan on doing this, what did I say, 70 years?
Yes.
I got another 50 to go, dude. So if I start pissing people off now, dude,
you're not going to have
who knows
much
what's
of a career.
Oh, damn it. I'll only make it to my 40th year. Damn it. Going for 70.
Yes. So with the ego, don't be afraid to ask questions. You know what I mean? I think that's an important part of this too. You don't know everything, exactly like you said. You don't know everything. Ask.
Yeah.
Find out
Huge.
what's going on.
Huge.
Yes.
Oh my God, nobody asks.
Yes,
right?
that's exactly it, right?
And that's a trick. That's key.
Oh.
Yeah, humble yourself. I mean, again, I think humility is a very important part about being a designer.
Big
right?
time, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
All right,
Nice.
this one I love.
Okay.
This next one I love. Ready? So, lessons learned.
Yep.
Get used to the timelines and learn to love them. Seriously.
Learn to love the timeline.
This is not this is not the space. If you're too chilled, if you expect a nice slow pace, you know, this isn't the space. This is not the industry. Nothing. It seems like every request is asked for yesterday.
Yes.
It's a yesterday economy.
Yes,
right?
that's exactly
See
it.
what our past podcast? No, but it's true. I mean, again, it's you know, at first you get really agitated over them. Holy shit, they needed it by, you know, they're only giving me 2 days and this person's only giving me 3. How am I going to get everybody's work done?
Yeah.
Dude, you can fight this.
Yeah.
But if you want to make it last, just learn to embrace it and just thrive off this.
Exactly.
You know?
It's kind of it's a window to hone your skills. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I worked at a newspaper, a daily newspaper, and that was every day there was a new product going out.
Yeah.
So it was like fucking bananas.
It was always on the go.
It was always on the go. So to learn inside of those parameters. To me was pivotal. Like
that's huge.
I found that really, really challenging. It was tough.
Yep.
But it's now, as a client gives me 3 days, I'm like, shit. Come on.
It's so true. I know, right? Like, the reality is, one thing that people don't realize is the longer the timeline, doesn't mean your work's going to be better.
This is exactly it.
Dude, it's just like, honestly, this is Robinson, what is it? Parkinson's law.
Parkinson's law.
Right?
Right.
That basically the time stretches to, the work stretches to the time. Right? So if somebody was to give us 4 weeks to get a job done, shit, we could get that same thing done in 1 week. And that's true. You know why? They'll give you 4 weeks. We often don't start until the 3rd week. Right? And it's true. It's just, the reality is, it's just, we work in this really fast-paced industry. And, you know, everybody always needs it yesterday. Right? And, you know, you can't fight this. This is just part of the deal. This is part of the industry. It's part of the space. And I do appreciate it when customers do give us more timelines. I do.
Yes.
It allows us to schedule more shit in between. But the
Yes.
reality is, when you get as good as we are, or as experienced as we are, right? We know timelines. We know how long it takes to, you know, create a web page from beginning to end, right? We know what the logo process looks like beginning to end, right? So giving us that extra space or not, sure, I can fit in more jobs, but the reality is, we are in charge of our own destiny when it comes to our timelines. Right? So, you know, get used to the fact that most of the time, everything's going to have a very tight timeline, right? And just thrive off that shit.
Yes, exactly. Learn to live with that. And not, generally you don't have those luxuries of the month jobs.
No,
you know what I mean? Even if you had that luxury.
Oh, jeez. It hurts us sometimes. We have
it's
customers post the request for like 4 weeks away.
I know. And you're
it's
just like
it's just
whatever.
like a 2-hour job. I'm like, no. Can you cancel that and give it back to us the week before you need it?
It's like in our launch list program. We just ignore it. Like it
becomes
doesn't even get
ignored.
assigned.
Oh, jeez.
That's due a month from now.
Oh,
Whatever.
It hurts more than anything.
It does. It really is. Yeah. So if you're working under that assumption that it's the deadlines are super tight.
Yeah.
That's
You're
better.
safe.
Yeah.
You learn how to make better decisions.
Exactly.
You
You're
learn how to make quicker decisions.
Exactly.
And you're not humming and hawing.
Yeah.
You're indecisive.
Yeah.
Blue or blue lights.
Exactly.
You know, like no.
Exactly.
You can make a call and you get better at making the right call.
Yeah, it's almost like a muscle, like a reflex.
100%.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, okay.
I believe that 100%.
This works.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%, dude.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love
geez.
that, right?
I
Honestly, I laugh now, and this is the one common thread amongst all designers. I think everybody can appreciate the fact that, this whole space seems to be, a yesterday economy.
Yep.
Everybody wants things yesterday. And it's just like, you know what? Embrace the fact that, we do it well. And I like that we do it well. And I think everybody, the whole team is like that, So embrace the shit. Love
Embrace it. Embrace it. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Good.
And speaking of shit.
Ooh. That was horrible.
What? You know what's important?
Yes.
Giving a shit.
Giving a shit. That's a huge lesson.
Isn't that
learned.
awesome?
Yeah, kind of gross. But yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
a little gross.
It's a little
but
gross.
yeah.
That intro, I didn't know where you're going with that one. But life lesson, I guess the 8th lesson that we were talking about is literally giving a shit.
Giving a shit.
Right?
Care about what you do.
Right.
Yeah, like...
Like just because you know how many of these work together, right? Just because somebody poo-poos your idea.
Yes.
Right? Oh, you like that? Poo-poos your idea? Even if a customer poo-poos your idea, right? And you get all sensitive about it because they just slammed your ego.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you give up and you give them what they want and just do a half-ass job.
Exactly.
Right? You're still, you've still been hired to give a shit and finish that job for the customer to the best of your abilities.
Yep. Whether it's the second revise or the 22nd revise.
Oh, and I hate that. Trust me, man.
It sucks. It does. It really,
does.
really sucks. But still, it's a necessity of this job.
Absolutely. It kind of goes back to that don't burn bridges, right?
That's exactly
'Cause again,
it.
you will get those projects that are on revision 12,
That just go
14, and
on
it's just
and
like,
on and
come on,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And it's easy to get frustrated, but you have to give a shit, right? Nothing frustrates me more. I've had customers I've had employees in the past, and they'd be like, oh, I don't care. I don't give a shit. They can have whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, you have to give a shit. You have to give a shit. Otherwise, you're not going to care about the outcome.
Yeah.
You're not going to care. That customer they've got their own shit that they're dealing with, right?
Yep.
They've got their own clients, they've got their own deadlines, they have their own bosses.
Yes.
You can't, be that broken cog in that whole chain.
Yes.
Because then you're worse than everybody else.
Yes,
like
exactly.
we have to give a fuck.
Yes.
Like we really do, right?
Yeah, it's
I don't know. That's
imperative.
a tough one.
It totally, yeah. This is definitely one of those. You do that and it reflects poorly on you. You know what I
Totally,
mean? Like,
dude. Totally.
You look like the asshole.
Honestly, if you're
You don't
just
care.
in it for a paycheck,
Yeah,
don't be a graphic designer.
This is not the job.
Right? Being a designer is about giving a shit about the end user.
Yes,
You
exactly.
have to give a shit.
Exactly.
Right? And again, even if it's not a gem project and it doesn't have an ideal timeline, like, I mean, these all work together hand in hand.
Yeah.
But really, you can't lose that passion, that love for what you do. You have to give a shit.
Yes.
You do. You
yes.
do.
So important.
Yeah.
So important. Give a shit.
Yeah, really, eh?
Don't pollute.
Oh,
No, wait.
dude. Yeah, right. All right.
Okay.
I like this one.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're almost done, guys. We're
Yes.
almost done.
Yeah,
but
couple
this
more.
one is a really, really, really important one. Okay. Life lesson that we've learned as being a graphic designer.
So good.
Learn to shut the hell up. Seriously. On so many
Oh
levels.
boy, right?
Right? Like, number one, I learned, as you can tell, I talk a lot. I do talk a lot. But when I stop,
But you listen a lot.
yeah, that's the key.
Yeah.
Right? You have to learn how to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's not just about you.
It's not
you
the you
have
show.
to learn how to shut up
Yeah.
and listen.
Yeah.
Right? And this goes with you to customers, but it also goes to you with peers.
Yep.
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 If you're in the environment, you to your boss. Nothing frustrates me more that it's like, you hire somebody new, you give them a chance, you start training them up,
Yep.
and you ask them for, some work. They come back and you try to give them feedback only to have them disagree or defend it. And it's just like, no. You said you're here to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. Use more white space here. Well, I felt that it already had a lot of white space. And newsflash, it doesn't. It looks like shit. right? Or, change this here, add an image like this. You know, the customer is all about, the event. It's an event.
Yeah.
So, the customer wants pictures of people at an event. Well, I kind of felt that they actually were wrong and we shouldn't do. Dude, like, you just have to shut up and listen for a second. Like, nothing is more frustrating in that case.
Yes, that is really, really bad. Because that, to me, you're just making more work for yourself.
Oh, dude.
Because you're going to present your idea and you can explain it till the cows come home. But
if you got it wrong,
the client didn't want that. I don't want that.
Yes,
At least, at the very least. And now, back me up on this one. I think this is kind of one of our principles, like the 3 rule, right? You have one that the customer wants as close as possible.
Yep.
Then you got one that's a little bit out there, but still
the wild card.
The wild card, and then you got the really
and you got your concept. So they want, what you want, and the wild card.
In the wild card,
right?
Exactly.
And those are the 3 concepts generally we try to present to people, right?
Yes.
And then you can kind of gauge where their interest lies, right? But again, it's like, you can't learn what they want if you don't learn to shut up.
Exactly.
Right? And that's the frustrating part, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you have to listen.
Yeah.
Deeper to the stuff that's actually being said.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you don't learn how to shut up, you can't. And even me, in all fairness, often I learn more by speaking quietly or by just taking a pause and listening. Right? Shutting up.
Yeah.
Right? And I think everybody needs to learn how to shut up. Because again, this kind of goes back to the ego. This kind of goes back to you don't have all the answers, right? And really the customer is in charge in the end, right? So if you want to make the best job for the customer, and not get precious and don't let your ego get fragile, then really you need to learn how to shut up, listen to what they're asking for, listen to the response that they have when you present. Don't just listen to defend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Shut
exactly.
up and listen to understand.
Yes.
Not to respond.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And honestly, I think that's a huge thing that we've learned. We've learned many times. Right. But unfortunately, I think a lot of younger designers are so busy trying to defend themselves in their work. They're talking too much, and not listening enough.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right?
2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You should be listening twice as many times as you should be. That's good.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, that is an awesome one. That was a tough one, I find. Sometimes, you're just like, you do have an idea of what you want in your head, and you kind of get a little distracted.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But anyway, you do that. You do your version. You got to go back to the client, and you're going to be wrong.
Absolutely.
So, because you didn't listen.
Because you didn't listen.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Good. So learn to shut up.
Yes.
And last but not least,
the one, it just keeps coming back.
It keeps coming back over and over, baby.
And when I saw this, I was like, I laughed my ass off because it's so true.
Yeah, I know. This
it's
is the
just
best one.
like one of those duh moments.
This is the whole. This is more of a life lesson as a designer, but it's just a lesson in general.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
always
buddy.
good to hear. Always add more white space.
Always add more white space.
Right?
That's
Come on.
fucking true, right?
I know. You're just like,
and that's everywhere.
Yes.
Now that just doesn't go for, like graphic design or UX design, right? Dude, that's even in life.
In life, exactly.
You can always use a little bit more padding, a little bit more space and how you approach everything, right?
Exactly.
Don't crowd everything so much. Give yourself some space.
Yes.
Now back to the design, though. Back to the design. It's true because white space is transformative.
Yes.
Okay, to a design. It just naturally brings your eye, it makes your eye travel to the areas you want it to focus on.
Yes.
It groups things together. It helps with hierarchy.
Yes.
It helps define the hierarchy.
Yep.
It helps define how your eye travels through pieces, whether it's a website, whether it's a designed print, even a logo.
Yeah.
Use of white space is so important.
oh my God, it's just absolutely crazy. And that's why I find this is really funny, because sometimes you still have to be reminded of this, because a lot of times the clients are going to tell you, can you just make that logo bigger and stuff like that, and it's like,
you know, and you can, and, you know, and again, you defend them on this when you can defend it and just say, you know, by adding a little bit more space around it, it draws the eye to it.
Exactly.
Making it bigger doesn't necessarily mean people are going to see it.
That's right.
Right. And that's key. Like, learn how to defend white space, be a white space defender, right? But literally learn how to work with it, because this is something that I think you can, you know, keep tweaking and tweaking your entire life.
Yes, exactly.
I really believe that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
You're never really finalized with that concept.
Absolutely.
And that's why it keeps coming back.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, it's never really, it's not one of those, you know, like a hard and fast rule.
Yep.
Like, it's not a tangible thing. It's a thing that is just a thing. You know what I mean? It's hard
yes, I couldn't have said it better myself, Sean.
How articulate, right? Yeah, but it's
true.
Very
though.
true.
It's one of the hardest things to learn. I think it's one of those things that
designer,
everybody can easily do and get into it, but it does take years to learn. And I envy some of the earlier, younger designers who get it early. Some of them get it really quick, and I'm just like, good for you.
Yes,
because even for me, it was because our style is very bold and in your face, and it's very big. You know, it's hard to figure out how to use white space, but it doesn't necessarily mean physically keeping white space around your items. It's balance.
Yeah, it's balance.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's what it's about. Right. Even David Carson, who's, you know, his stuff is almost anti-design.
Yep.
And it's layer on top of layer, montage, this and that. Every one of his pieces are beautifully, have beautiful white space around it.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, it's intentional.
Yes.
Your eyes traveling through this, and you think it's not by accident.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a design.
It's a design. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is ironic that guy is aware of white space, and you know, like, it's just brilliant.
Totally.
That's a trick.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so we got a pretty decent list here. So life lessons, number 1, they can't all be gems. Number 2, don't take yourself too seriously. Have fun in this space. Number 3, stop comparing yourself to others. There's always going to be somebody better, and that's okay.
Yep.
Number 4, build bridges. Don't burn them.
Right.
Number 5, don't get precious. Grow a thicker skin. Just don't become all calloused and shit.
That's right.
Check your ego at the door.
Yes.
Get used to timelines.
Yep.
Get used to tight timelines. Love them.
Yes.
Give a shit.
Yep.
Learn to shut the hell up. And last but not least, always add more white space.
Always add more white space.
So this is our list of things that we've learned. I think our top list as a designer.
Yep.
But by all means, we want you guys to, you know, share us yours, share us other lessons.
Yeah.
Let's get this ginormous list together,
Yes.
okay, of everything. Honestly, and then we'll post this on our website. We'll actually post this. I'd love to hear some of the other, because we've heard some pretty crazy stuff out there.
We have.
did. That list was pretty initial. It was pretty intimidating, and everything we started reading. These are ours, but we'd like to get a giant list of everybody's together. So please hit us up on our website, theangrydesigner.com.
Yep.
You know, drop us a line, drop us a comment, you know, hit us up on our Instagram, you know, following up these posts, right?
Yep.
We've got a very active Instagram. We talk to our angry designers.
Yeah.
You know, we have great conversation, we have good laughs. So by all means, hit us up on there. It's always a riot.
Yeah.
And please, by all means, leave us a review.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit us up on Apple Podcasts. Hit us up on Spotify. You know, drop us a line, leave us a review, show us some love.
Yeah, show us some love, or
and so
some
we
anger.
we can show love to everybody else all over the world, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man.
Nice.
I think this was all right.
That was really good. That was
all right.
really.
I hope
really
you guys
good.
were able to get some cool stuff out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it. These are not hard and fast rules by any stretch. There's no particular order that we have in these. These are just some of the. These were the top ones of what? 40 years. We had a shit ton of them.
We were combined. I don't even want to talk about combining. If we combine ours, jeez, older than most cities. Oh, geez, with that being said, all right. Well, with that being said, my name is Massimo,
and my name is Sean.
Stay creative
and stay angry.
Peace.